And here we are again, it's another Thursday night. This is your friendly voice speaking to you, Eckert von Bahn, coming from the north of Germany and presenting to you the STC Sim Racing Team Challenge live here on PSR TV and associated with racedepartment.com RD. Well, it's the second race, and after technical problems in the first race, it's the first broadcast, and with me tonight, as ever, my famous and favorite technician is Jose Estrada. Hello, Jose.
Hello, Eckart, and hello, everybody.
Yeah, well, Jose, just to put me right, because I keep forgetting, is this a blue cup that we're having, or is it a black cup? Because we do alternate them, don't we?
Yeah, sure.
And what is it now, blue or black? I really have no idea because I keep losing track.
No, it's blue. It's the blue cup. Blue cup in spring and black cup in winter.
Ah, okay. I need to remember that. So blue cup in spring, it's blue cup 2011, and race number 2, which means we already have first standings after the first race. But first of all, a bit about the location here. We're at Fundidora Park in Monterrey in Mexico. It's a place we went to last year as well, and it's a rather tight track. It's 3.39 kilometers long, 2.05 miles for those of you who count such things in miles. Got 11 turns, lots of them 90 degrees or 180 degrees turns, some straights, one very long one, and some really dreadful chicanes with special STC curbs to disallow cutting, and there's the odd chance that we'll see one or two of the cars airborne, because if you touch these curbs, all kinds of things can happen. With us also, of course, is David Garcia, a bit later on, our race director, who is at the moment testing the pace car. And Jose, do we have kind of a lineup of the points so far, or should I just tell the viewers while we watch something else?
No, they are watching it now.
Oh, brilliant. Well, there we are then. It's Game Racer FlatOut Racing, position number 1, and they won the last race. Mikko Korkiakowski scored a superb win there, even though he had to do one more pit stop than he wanted to because of a small technical problem. But with 3 laps to go, he secured victory from Jesper Taulborg for the Flying Canadian Racing, and into Flying Dutchman Racing with 42 points, and then in 3 their Dutch compatriots, the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, with 39 points. And the Gubbklubben from Sweden in 4 at 32 points. Flying Canadian Racing, I mentioned them earlier. A new team for Jesper Taulborg, who was racing for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs last season here with us, and he changed to Canadian Racing, and they are in 5 with 29 points. Waterblue Racing, another team headed by Georgios Davakos from Greece. They're in 6. Tied there for 5th position actually with 29 points, but not having the great Taulborg result, they're down. And then Blue Flag Racing, my team, originally from Norway, we're in 7th with 28 points. Course Online in 8th for 20 points, Torrent Motorsports in 9th for 18 points, and then I'm afraid to say the Black Rebels, Jose, you have to be really brave now, down in 10th. Oh, miserably. For 17 points, and then 05 Motorsports, who have since left the series, I'm afraid to tell you, and Game Racer FlatOut Club in 12th at 0 points. So we're 1 team short in the lineup today. It's 11 teams and 22 cars on the grid. Jose, if you have any time to answer such pesky questions, what was the biggest surprise for you in the first race of the new season?
Well, I think there were not really big surprises. The biggest surprise was that we couldn't broadcast it, and I'm really sorry for that. I want to say thanks to Keith Barrick. I think I totally mispronounced his name and I'm sorry, but he tried to. He was helping us all the week, and he's really trying to help the series, and I want to say thanks to him. Well, I think the race at Interlagos was really competitive. Maybe I expected a better result from Course Online, considering what they did last year, but in general, I think the guys that we expected to be in the first positions, they were there, so I think it was an interesting race.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised about the Flying Dutchman really all the way up there, because last season, well, they had the speed definitely, but there was always something or other that happened along the way, and they never really could quite live up to the promise, couldn't they?
Yes, but they were fighting for the top 10 during all the season, so it's a surprise that they were that high, but in general, it's one of the teams that sooner or later I think they will be fighting for the championship.
Well, today in the qualification we saw basically the Empire striking back, and we'll tell you all about the qualification results in half a second, and we'll give you a full grid lineup as we are on the introduction lap in the warm-up lap, which is, let me have a quick peek at the timing, which is only a minute or so away. Well, we have a minute till the race begins, then we have another 2 minutes before everyone has joined, and then we'll have the introduction lap. So it's about 3 minutes to go, and with 3 minutes to go, weather tonight, it's sunny in Mexico, sunny weather, and track temperatures, the latest data I have is a 27 degrees simulated track temperature here, and a 22 degrees simulated outside or air temperature, so fine weather in Fundidora. It's a bit more info about the track. It has been used in real life. It's not that some modder made this up or anything. It's actually the A1 ran here, and also the kart series ran here. It's situated in a park that used to be a foundry. It used to be an industrial zone, and that folded up when the age of industrialization came to an end, and they converted it into a kind of free time activity park. There's a lagoon, there's a zoo, there's a Sesame Street land, believe it or not. There's a baseball stadium, there's a conference hall, there's a swimming hall, and you name it. And so it seems to be a rather nice place. It's situated along a river, actually, and there's a bit of a lake right next to the start and finish line, in fact. So, server has switched to race, which means we have another 2 minutes before the introduction lap to go. And should I say, while the drivers join the track, they're probably at this moment checking the settings for the race. Any news concerning the rules? What about the tire model that we use? What about the car that we use? Or is it all the same as it was last year?
Well, it's almost the same, but the tires are new this year. So we expect. I think I'm saying the same things that the Pirelli people say in the Formula 1. We expect more spectacle and more differences between the compounds, because all the teams say that last year was the soft compound was almost the same as the hard one, but with shorter life, so they were with the hard one all the time. And we tried to change that. I think was Neil Gold helping us, if I'm not wrong, because that's the part that David uses to manage.
We'll ask him later.
Yep. And yes, that's pretty much the only change, because the rules are the same, the cars are the same, the tracks, most of them are the same tracks. So yeah, pretty much
Same procedure as last year.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Well. And I'm really looking forward to that tire mod. It seems that on this track it's either a one-stopper or a two-stopper, with the one-stopper guys probably being on hards and the two-stopper guys probably being on softs. That's at least as far as I understood from some of the messages I received. And it's David Garcia in the new green safety car here, who is now approaching the front of the grid, and with that the race very shortly is about to set off. And this brings us to a rundown of the starting grid for you. And as I said, the Roaring Pipes Maniacs have definitely been striking back, because we have pole sitter Marcin Skrzypczak of the Maniacs with the black roof in position number 1, and he is followed by Rami Kaukola, if I remember correctly. He was the guy to set the pace here last year, so obviously we can expect them to put in a great performance tonight. So 1-2 for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, absolutely well done. In 3, Kevin Clark, frontman in this race for the defending champions, Game Racer FlatOut Club. In 4, Robin Johansson for the Gubbklubben Swedish team. In 5, it's the first of the Flying Canadian racing cars. Very nice red, white and black layout there. It's Alexander Lauritsen. And Jesper Taulborg in 7. I suspect both of these Canadians sound more like Danish to me, but there you go. And Daniel Beck, second of the Gubbklubben players, in 8. And he is followed by Luca da Fara, the first of the Italian course online players. Bit of a pile-up here, but I hope nobody touches anybody else. And then Martijn van Bommel in position number 10, as we're already nearing the start and finish. I need to hurry up a little. Martin Kraaijenbrink, second of the Flying Dutchman Racers, in 11. Then we have Adam Shaw, second of the FlatOut Racers, in 12. Fortunato Fiorentino for Course Online in 13. Gregory Degreef in the yellow Black Rebels car in 14. In 15, Konrad Stanchak in the blue flag racing car. 16, Andy Roberts for the FlatOut Junior team, the club. 17, Dariusz Świderski, second of the Black Rebels. 18, Bruno Sousa Ferreira in the first of the Water Blue team. Then Georgios Davakos, second of the Water Blue racing team. 20, Theo de Bruyn for Blue Flag Racing in the orange car. 21, Tom Ilsbrooks for the FlatOut Club, and both of the Torrents in the final positions, Simon Maluish and Ethan Bass. Just in time, as we see David Garcia into this pit lane, and the race is about to start. Rami Kaukola can set the pace, and Marcin Skrzypczak, of course, and they head into the first bend. It's Skrzypczak leading the race. It's the second race of the season. It's the first broadcast, and Kaukola has to defend against Kevin Clark there in 3. Skrzypczak with a bit of breathing space, and we already see the first overtaking maneuver in the back. It's Lauritsen for the Flying Canadian Racing has overtaken Gubbklubben's Johansson and is now in position number 4. Skrzypczak leading the pack through the first turns here, easily it looks, and Rami Kaukola, it might be that they're on a different strategy and that we can see Skrzypczak flying away here on softs while Kaukola takes a bit more slowly on hards and trying to hold up the rest of the field a little, but that's just a suspicion that I have as I see these two players now almost done on their first lap. They're out on one of the longer straights now. Skrzypczak leading, and then Kaukola into, and already a sizable gap here between behind Lauritsen, and Robin Johansson has to defend against Jesper Taulborg. It's a North European match here, Sweden against Denmark, and Johansson definitely has to battle very, very hard to keep Taulborg behind. I think we can see an attack by Taulborg at the end of the start and finish straight. He's moving out, He's already showing Johansson his intention, but he's drawing back. Really quite difficult actually to pass there. And they're heading out onto another one of the straights. So, lots of action here. Lauritsen has definitely made a good move there on Johansson. Johansson now across the curbs and followed by Jesper Taulborg. Right then, first time to go back to José, and how did you see the start, José?
Well, I think it was quite clean start, no incidents, and that's always good in a 90-minute race.
Well, yeah, definitely. And is David Garcia already with us? Race control. Nope, he's still fixing something on the pace car, maybe. So I think it's time, José, for a first rundown to see where everybody ended up after the start. And I can see there's some huge battles in midfield. Shall we go down the grid, starting with Johansson and Taulborg?
Sure, let's go.
Well, there we are then. Johansson leading Taulborg. Taulborg trying to get past, but at the moment not finding a way past. Bit of a gap to Marcin van Bommel for the Flying Dutchman Racing. And then it's in 8 Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben. Another quite large gap opening to Gregory Degreef in the yellow Black Rebels car. Number 6 for them this year. In 10, Fortunato Fiorentino under heavy pressure here. A whole group of players following him. And it's the second of the... No, it's already the first of the Torrent Motorsports. Sorry, I mixed up the skins there. It's Simon Maluish, who must have had the mother of all stars. Started in 21, he's up in 11. That is some tremendous leap that Simon has done here in only 3 laps. And let's see how far he can get from 21. It's 11 now for him. In 12, my teammate Konrad Stanchak, our Trone racer, and the black and blue, and he actually did the skin, so he should be doubly proud to be wearing our flag, to be wearing that skin tonight, to be playing that skin tonight. Konrad Stanchak from Poland in position number 12 for the team Blue Flag Racing. And then, little touch just as we move there, Martin Kraaijenbrink for Flying Dutchman Racing, and that name sounds Dutch indeed. Bit of a slide by him here as he gets on the start and finish straight, and the fellow putting that pressure on him is an Italian guy, Luca Daffara, no R there, Luca Daffara, who obviously is a bit faster in the turns, whereas Kraaijenbrink is a bit faster. And now Daffara goes off, he's on the green, and that will lose him some seconds, and that will bring Adam Shaw for Game Racer FlatOut within striking distance. Nope, it doesn't. And we go on. It's Dariusz Swiderski, another Polish guy playing for the Black Rebels here in the black car, hence the name. And the biggest gap so far on the track, it's Ethan Bass in the second of the Torrent Motorsports cars. He has advanced 5 positions. He was 22nd in the lineup, and now he is in 17. Then, after Ethan Bass, the first of the water blue players, Bruno Sousa Ferreira. I really have to ask Bruno about his pronunciation, especially of the second part of the name. Hope I get it right, Bruno. No hard feelings there.
I think it's Sousa Ferreira.
Sousa Ferreira. Thank you very much. Ferreira. Sousa Ferreira. I'll do my level best. Is that Portuguese or Brazilian?
Well, I don't know. I suppose he's Portuguese, but Brazilian and Portuguese names and surnames are almost the same, you know.
Yeah, whatever his name, he's in serious trouble now, because that Game Racer FlatOut club player, Tom Ilsbrooks, who is the head of the whole team, he is putting some great pressure, and he's making a great move now, very well executed, putting the pressure on him the first turn, letting him run wide a little in the second turn, and then sneaking in through the back door, so to speak. Well done by Tom Ilsbrooks. Fantastic move there, putting him in position number 18, and the water blue player Sousa Ferreira in 19. Then in 20 his teammate, some trouble there under braking, Georgios Tabakos. And followed by the orange blue flag car, that's a Theo De Bruyne of, I think Theo hails from Belgium, not quite sure though. Theo, if I get it wrong, sorry. And then Andy Roberts in the second of the Game Racer FlatOut Club cars, at the moment bringing up the rear. That's not where he was on the grid. He was in 15 actually. He must have run into some trouble along the way. So some positions already done in the back of the grid, and let's go check out what the front does. And it seems as if David Garcia is with us now. David, is that correct?
Yeah, Kurt. Hello, I'm back.
So David, after the kind of disastrous start to the last race, this was uneventful, wasn't it?
Well, it looked like Andy Roberts had an incident during the formation lap, and he lost his rear wing. And there was a little gap. There was like two groups in the formation lap. When I granted the green flag, there were two groups, but I have done a decision. I made a decision about the formation lap, and from now on, in the next races, if there are groups or there are incidents during this lap, I will grant the green flag anyway, because it is a kind of responsibility for the drivers to make a clean formation lap.
Yep, definitely. We'll put some pressures on them to really do a clean lap. And I think we had like 4 out laps in Interlagos, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
And that really, there were many posts on the forum saying, that was really hard on the nerves. I mean, you're all itchy and ready to go, you're all fired up for the race, and then you have to go there for like 9 minutes or so in simulated 60 or 100 miles an hour, and you really want to start the race, and so people didn't really feel too happy about that. And let's see how that pans out in the course of the season. So I suppose, Jose, we're back at the front with Marcin Skrzypczak.
Yes, we are following Kevin Clark now.
And he is definitely setting the pace here, and but the gap that has opened to second positioned Rami is not really big. It's well within striking distance, so yes, Skrzypczak can pull away, but only a little at the time, or else Kaukola has his rear view mirror nicely filled with that brilliant black and light blue and colorful design here of the Game Racer FlatOut Club. It's Kevin Clark who is putting a lot of pressure on Rami, but we've seen Rami time and again, and I think David, you really can put as much pressure as you want on Rami. It doesn't really have much effect, does it?
Yeah. He used to be quite consistent, and he will be fast anyway with someone behind or someone forward.
That doesn't really matter. The guy lives in a universe of his own, and I see that in the back. Taulborg has actually passed Johansson for position number 5. So we now have both of the flying Canadian racing players in the positions 4 and 5. So very good team result for them at the moment. But the best team result, of course, here on the grid at the moment is the Roaring Pipes Maniacs in 1 and 2. And these guys at the front, the so-called aliens, if you look at the gaps opening behind them, it's again, they're setting a really brutal pace here, don't they?
Yeah, it's amazing.
David, do you have access to the lap times at this point? I mean, they should be around 1:20, shouldn't they?
Yes, of course. Well, as an example, Marcin's fastest lap is 1:21.6. Rami is 1:29.9. Kevin Clark is 1:22.0. They're very close.
Absolutely close, and we can see that Lauritsen can follow them, whereas Jesper Taulborg seems to have a bit of a difficulty here following these leading 4. Lauritsen, I think, is not really losing that much space to the others in front, but I can see Taulborg slowly and silently slipping away there on the back just a little. And we've just now seen Rami Kaukola doing hitting the curbs there very roughly. Will that influence the car's behavior over the race if you go across the curbs too much, David? Well, how's the physics model here?
Well, it should affect the car, of course, but it will depend a bit on the simulator's capacity to simulate all that effect, all that circumstances on the car.
Yeah, talking about simulators, we're still with GTR Evo, or well, it's actually the Race 07 engine, isn't it? 4 years old and well advanced by the time it came out in Race 07. And we were waiting for our Factor 2, weren't we?
Yeah, and we are still. Let's hope it doesn't take too long.
I do have, I must say, a pretty bad feeling about that, but that's my own personal opinion. I think most of the sim racing community is definitely keeping their fingers crossed for R Factor 2 to come out. It was a nice first April Fool's joke, wasn't it, when at Race Department there was this disclosed. I don't know how many hits they got. Didn't catch me, I must say, but probably lots of sim racers really anxious to hear news about R Factor 2 definitely clicked on that one.
I was one of the ones clicking.
Oh, you were one of the ones caught on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and
me
we have
too.
an incident. Just as we're talking here about being fooled, Theo de Bruyne actually having some problems for the blue flag team, and then trying to give way, trying to make room for Rami Kaukola. He actually touched Kaukola a little, because that was in the apex of a turn. He was on the grass, he came back on the track a little, and now we see Kaukola with a slightly dented front. He won't be too happy about that, and neither will Theo de Bruyne be happy about that. There was a bit of a debris lying around just a bit before, so I suppose that de Bruyne had an incident just as the leading players were coming up for the first lapping maneuver of the race. And Rami Kaukola is definitely the one not to profit from that incident. It has slowed down the group, it has allowed Skrzypczak to move away a little, and it has allowed Lauritsen to close the gap. Kevin Clark, very gentlemanly behavior, didn't take advantage of that situation. I think really he couldn't, it was quite narrow at that point, and he decided wisely to not try anything foolish, stayed behind, and that in turn has given Kaukola a bit of a gap now to Clark, and it might be that Clark might be under pressure from Lauritsen. If Lauritsen can just close that gap now, he would be able to be within striking distance.
Eckhart, about the average fuel, I have to say it's normal David and me click, because in Spain, you know, it's 28th of December, the day of the Innocentes Day is called. So for us,
so you're not used to the concept on the 1st of April.
No, exactly.
I will be very careful now about that. Any messages I get from you on the 28th of December. Right.
Yeah, you better do that.
So, David Garcia, do you have access to the pit lane? Do we see Theo de Bruyne in the pits already? It looked as if his car was pretty beaten up already before he had that small incident there with Rami in the lapping maneuver.
Yeah, he's pitting out right now, and he have some hits around the car.
Oh dear, must have been an incident there. We saw a little earlier on that Andy Roberts of the Game Racer FlatOut Club team was trying to make his way past Theo, so that might have been an outcome of that fight there. And again, we see Kaukola really going across the curbs here.
There is a car, guys, let me interrupt you. There is a car that looks like having serious problems. I don't know what kind of problems, because the car is looking well, but Adam Shaw is at the back of the pack, position 20, and doesn't look like he's keeping a good pace.
So we're moving to position 6 and 7 because right there it's Robin Johansson who is losing positions a bit here and trying to fight back as hard as he can. We see Marcin van Bommel, they've just had a vicious exchange of swapping positions back and forth and back, and we just narrowly missed that one. And the upshot is that Van Bommel in the end passed Johansson, so let's see if Johansson can actually follow Van Bommel here. It would be really, he's had to concede position number 4 in the early stages of the game, and he's now down to 7, and he's definitely not going to be too happy about that. But then again, might be that he's on a 1-stopper, whereas Van Bommel is on a 2-stopper, and really needs to get past him very, very, very quickly. There was some intense fighting going on between the two, but as you can see, both cars absolutely unscathed, so that was all very, very fair indeed, at least from what I can see on my screen here. And Johansson, if I see this correctly, definitely having trouble to follow Van Bommel.
Yeah, I think he's lost the pace a little bit with Van Bommel.
Yep.
I am checking on the cars.
Yes.
A little bit close, you know, with the zoom, and I have seen some curious details on the cars. If you look at the back of the Gubbklubben car, there is a really fun script.
Yeah, they have a nice. It's a bit like Tom Coronel, Eat My Dust, and it's pretty close to that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it says not fast, but furious, you know.
Yep. Let's hope that they can do that in this race. And I think we're in position 11 and 12 now with the second of the Flying Dutchman Racing cars, because there's a battle here, a 3-way battle between Martin Kraaijenbrink of the Flying Dutchman, and in 10 we have Fortunato Fiorentino of the Course Online, and in 12 we have Konrad Stanchak of the Blue Flag Racing. He's up 2 positions with regard to his original grid position, and Kraaijenbrink at the moment is setting the pace in this group, and he just passed Stanchak just as we were still following that other pair there involving Marcin van Bommel. And Kraaijenbrink is definitely on the move here. He is closing the gap to the Course Online player quickly, while Stanchak has some serious problems keeping up the pace here. And Fortunato Fiorentino, he is the one who is now about to face Kraaijenbrink's attacks, and it's still pretty early in the race, about half an hour gone, and about 1/3 gone, so if there's anyone up for a 2-stopper, they might be putting into the pits now. And look at that, Kraaijenbrink now very, very, very close indeed, and I suppose we can see a move made by him, and that might again be due to different tire strategies.
Possibly, Eckhart, because the difference from tire to tire have been increased this season. So
yeah, definitely. We were wondering earlier, David, who helped us on the tires? Somebody did the dirty work for us, didn't they?
Yeah, of course. We have a lot of people who helped us. It was Neil Gold who made the work on the tires.
Brilliant. So thanks, Neil. And there we see Kraaijenbrink making a move on Fiorentino, but Fiorentino blocking him. It's a fierce battle here for position. Kraaijenbrink trying to make the next move. No, he can't. And this battle actually brings Stanchak closer again. He will be just too pleased to see that. We can see him in the background there. And Kraaijenbrink now has to actually basically wait for the next good position to overtake. That's the last turn before start and finish, I think, but he has a bit of a trouble here, a bit of a problem keeping his car under control, as Fiorentino has a perfect exit out of the turn. And so Kraaijenbrink should be a bit too far away, actually making a move when they come out of this turn here. And then there's a quick left-hander, and he should be, if he can have enough pace out of it. And I can hear the pit going off in the background, so obviously people are starting to make their first scheduled pit.
We have water blue racing car. It's
Yeah, looks like
Georgia
Davakos. Yep, looks like Davakos to me. And Kraaijenbrink trying to get back into a position where he can attack Fiorito. And he is definitely faster in these next series of turns. That's where he started his attack earlier on. And let's see if he can make another move here. Look at the different lines they take here, and Fiorito apparently has learned from last lap because he's taking a completely different approach to that turn, one that doesn't allow Kraaijenbrink the move he just made. So let's move down just one position to that other group in the back. It's Skrzypczak of Blue Flag Racing defending against Simon Maluish, who has been stuck a little on his way up the grid, and he's now furiously battling Skrzypczak. He's on the grass there. Better watch out, Simon, because if you break on the grass, so we all know, all hell will break loose. But I suppose that Conrad will not be able to hold on to that 12th position for very much longer. They are now lapping Theo de Bruyne, who's giving them a lot of space there. And Skrzypczak on the grass, but he can regain the speed. And Maluish waiting for his chance there. Big battle here for positions number 12 and 13, middle of the field. That is what makes STC so unique and so interesting, that we have battles all the way through the field, all the way through the race. Maluish now trying to go on the inside, as we see De Bruyne. De Bruyne seems to have some serious trouble here, missing his break point and going across the grass, but just catching the car there. And Skrzypczak defending very effectively against Simon Maluish, who seems to have been a bit, he seems to have noticed that something was coming from his left-hand side. There was De Bruyne there, and actually braked a little there. And we can now see that De Bruyne is actually out of the game. I suppose that crash we didn't see, but which must have taken place in the back of the grid, obviously damaged his car, so he feels that he cannot go on sensibly here, that he's a danger to the other players. So De Bruyne out of the race, the first player today, first player tonight, and not good news for Konrad Skrzypczak, because of course that means for the team that there's some points lost there for the Blue Flag Racing.
Well, we have Daniel Beck chasing Gregory Degreef, position 8 and 9.
Yeah, and now Martin Kraaijenbrink, I hope, just made an overtake now.
Yep, Marcin Kraaijenbrink has just gotten past Fortunato Fiorentino, retaking position number 10 there, if I'm not mistaken. So there is definitely a lot of action here in the, let's say, between positions 8 and 12. That's where the huge battles are at the moment in this game.
Ouch!
And
yeah, you have seen the hit from Simon to Konrad.
yep, in the back.
Konrad have lost a couple of positions.
Yep, 2 to be exact.
And Jesper is pitting in now.
Same from Simon Maluish.
So the first also of the top players are in the pits, which means that not all, I would have thought all the top players were on a one pit strategy, but it seems as if some of them are actually also opting for the 2-pitter.
Konrad Skrzypczak at pit.
So we're moving up the grid a little to see Gregory Degreef of the
Guys.
Black Rebels in the yellow car. Yes, David.
We have Kevin Clark and Rami Kaukola at pit.
Oh, so really top runners here pitting. That will certainly mix up the field a lot because they will come out in the middle of the pack.
And we have Alexander Lauritsen
Yep.
and
Yep.
one of the FlatOut club cars.
And in in 4 now, it's Degreef, but the big battle is behind him. Daniel Beck of Game Racer FlatOut chasing a Gubbklubben player, but Daniel Beck is the Gubbklubben player, isn't he? I'm getting a little bit confused. Yes, Daniel Beck is the guy racing for FlatOut, and he's for Gubbklubben. Sorry, oh dear. And he is being chased by a FlatOut player, but it seems as if that player is a lap down or a lap up because he doesn't
it's
appear.
Adam Shaw. It's Adam Shaw with one lap left.
One lap down, and he is furiously trying to unlap himself at this point, and that makes perfect sense because he is on fresh tires, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he can't profit from these tires because he does have Daniel Beck. And there are limits to what you can do to unlap yourself. I mean, if there's a clear-cut situation where you can actually pull it off, it's okay, but you're not supposed to really put any pressure on the guy a lap up, aren't you?
Yes, but also the guy that is going to be overtook. He knows the other car has a lost lap, so he shouldn't defend like if it was really fighting for position.
Yep.
Guys,
and we can see
Marcin at pit.
Marcin at pit. All right. We should then, after we should go to Marcin and see where he comes out as he leaves the pit and leave Daniel Beck, who has moved up to 3 and who is really having trouble keeping that yellow and blue Gubbklubben Doran on the track. So his tires must be absolutely shot. And he's definitely taking a lot of time away from Adam Shaw at this point. And so this is also, I mean, this is a team competition, isn't it? And Shaw has given up for the time being. And it's also a Gubbklubben taking away points from Game Racer FlatOut, so fair enough there. Let's move to Marcin Skrzypczak and see where he rejoins the grid.
He pit out at P4 in front of Rami and Kevin Clark. We have also Martijn van Bommel at pit and Martin Kraaijenbrink.
All right, and it's Skrzypczak in 4, followed by Konrad Stanchak, who's a lap down and who again is in serious trouble there, fighting. He does have a busy evening. Busy night tonight, does Konrad, and Skrzypczak in 1, and Kaukola now about to lap Stanchak, and one of the Game Racer FlatOut club players trying to follow in his slipstream and trying to get past Konrad, but I think Stanchak anticipated the move. Yes, he did. So that is a tricky situation here. They're really fighting for position, the two there, and Stanchak now into the pits.
Yeah, but
Stanchak
I think it
into
was.
The pits.
I think it was not an on-purpose move. I mean, he will do a kind of drive-through.
Oh, okay.
At least
Could be possible.
Looked like that.
Could be possible because it's kind of easy to, with all these turns, to get a cut warning here from time to time, and that might be the case. Well, Kaukola
now. Stopping.
Oh, he's stopping. He's pitting.
Yeah.
All right, maybe he picked the wrong tires the last time round. That can happen.
Yeah.
So we actually have a new race leader. Let's go to the front chaussee, please, and find out who he is. It's Robin Johansson of Gubbklubben, and he might be on a one-stopper, though I can see that he is having serious trouble with the handling of the... Oh, and Stanchak is out of the game. Stanchak's car has taken a big beating, obviously, and so a black day for my team, for the Blue Flag Racing. Both players out of the game, and this after such a great result the last time round. Well, very sorry about that, guys. I know you did the best you could. I hope you enjoy the rest of the race here with us on PSR TV. And having said that, Robin Johansson leading the race. David, your idea, is it a one-stop strategy that we see here?
Well, who knows? One thing is clear. We have cars on very different strategies. Let's see how it works and how what Robin decides to do. We know Robin is quite fast. Even Gregory in P2 is quite fast as well.
Yep.
If they manage to keep the hard tires on a good pace, the strategy could work.
It certainly could, but as we can see, Johansson here is basically struggling in every turn to find a good clean line. Now the car is all over the place and really having a hard time here. Must be very tiresome work, probably already sweating here, even though he's not in Mexico but in Sweden in real life. But he's definitely putting in some great laps here. And David, you with the access to the timing, what lap time does he run at the moment as compared to Skrzypczak?
I will tell you. Robin's fastest lap is 1:22.8, and Marcin's fastest lap is 1:21.6.
All right, and last lap?
Last lap it was, I will tell you, Robin's last lap was 1:24.5, and Marcin's last lap was 1:23.2.
Okay, so that's not really much of a difference, isn't it? It's about 1 second only, so, well, could pay off, but we may just see him go into the pits, I suppose, in one of the next laps, because that car really seems like a handful.
Yes, but remember that the lap time difference could be on the tires.
Yep.
Could be up to the tires. So if at the moment both cars has to pit and make one stop only. So
yeah, it could just work out. And I'm just checking the difference between Johansson and Skrzypczak. It's 20 seconds difference. It could just work out. We have 53 minutes to go, so about 2/3 of the race still before us. And well, let's just see how that works out over the course of the race. After all the pit stops have been done, or at least the two stoppers have done the pit stop, Jose, time for the second of our rundowns.
Well, no, we can't, because we are with a huge battle for P2 between Gregory Degreef and I think it's
Marcin and
Skrzypczak.
Rami.
Marcin, sorry.
Yeah,
it's Marcin. Yes, and Degreef defending for all it's worth, and that... Ooh, and there Skrzypczak tries to squeeze past Degreef on the grass. Just very close move there by Degreef, and Skrzypczak still staying in front of Kaukola. That looks like team strategy to me. I suppose Kaukola could have stepped past there, but Skrzypczak, and they're both held up here behind Degreef, but they are in the same lap, so Degreef is definitely right to defend his position here. And exactly. I wonder if they switch now. I wonder if Kaukola maybe should have a go, because Skrzypczak has definitely beaten up his ride in that move.
One thing is clear, Eckert. If Gregory keeps on defending his position this way, Kevin Clark will be over the both RPM cars very soon.
Oh, and a great move by Skrzypczak, just as we talk about that. That was absolutely fantastically done. And Kaukola on the outside too. Can he pull it off? It's very close indeed, but he gets past. Serious racing here, and Skrzypczak, what a fantastic move that was. Feigning a move on the inside and then waiting for Degreef to counter that and then slipping past. That was absolutely marvelously done. And now let's see if Degreef can give Clark the same trouble that he get. Oh, sorry, let's stick with Degreef. He's on the grass again, and yes, he does the same move that he did the lap before. And Clark is under attack there by... Clark is now next to Degreef, and he squeezed past. He just manages to squeeze past. And there's that Course Online player, but he is a lap down. He is a lap down. Jesper Taulborg in the Flying Canadian Racing car, who is coming up now, is the next in line, so to speak. So that Course Online car is actually, yes, giving way there, making way for Taulborg, and Taulborg is now the one to give Degreef trouble, and Gregory must feel like he is always the one to be at the losing end, and Taulborg slips by easily enough, and I think that Degreef is definitely feeling the pain now. He's definitely, his Doran has definitely taken some serious hits in the whole process, but he still stays out. He is on a one-stopper, mind you.
Yeah, exactly. I think Gregory's problem right now are the tires.
Well, that said, Robin Johansson is still up in front, and those fights there, trying to get past Gregory Degreef, definitely played into the hands of the Gubbklubben player, because that must have cost them overall at least 5 or 6 seconds, I would say. And these 5 or 6 seconds, let's keep them in mind as we see the race unfold. It might be that these are the 5 or 6 seconds that are just the ones that Skrzypczak and Kaukola may be missing at the end of the race, but let's see how that works out. So, well, with all that argy-bargy done, here's the rundown, I suppose, that I introduced but never got done.
Yes, Eckhart, we can start from P7 if you want.
Right, we're with P7 at the moment. Let me quickly put you then into the light about the first positions. Johansson in 1, Skrzypczak in 2, Kaukola in 3, Clark in 4, Taulborg in 5, Degreef still in 6, and Alexander Lauritsen, who is at this point overtaking the Course Online player there for 7, lapping him actually, and putting the pressure on Degreef. Let's stay with those. No time for the rundown here, no rest for the wicked, as Lauritsen prepares to make a move on well, not defending champion, but heavily defending Gregory Degreef. And we see a crash in the background as the Course Online player defends there against, I think it was a Torrent player trying to take away his position, and didn't quite see the move. And Lauritsen managed to slip past Degreef. So we're in 6 with Lauritsen, we're in 7 with Degreef. And now let's finally do that rundown. In 8, it's Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben. Not fast, but furious. In 9, Marcin van Bommel for the Flying Dutchman Racing. In 10, a silent race really for him, but a very effective race, Dariusz Świderski for the Black Rebels. Let's not forget, this man was in 16 in the grid, and on the grid, sorry, so he advanced 6 positions already, and he may just be on the same one-stop strategy that Degreef is on, just that he doesn't have so much trouble defending his position, because there's a big gap. It's a bit of a lonely race for Świderski. Then in 11, Martin Kraaijenbrink for Dutchman Racing. And in 12, Fortunato Fiorentino, Course Online for you. I like that design that they have. That looks like a Kevlar or something, some alien material that they have here adopted as their black base color. Then second of the Course Online is in fact Luca da Fara, the fellow we saw engaged there in the Degreef fights as a kind of curious onlooker, but also as the one who was defending against the Torrent Motorsports player, who is none other than Simon Lewis, a mighty banged up car he has. Position number 14 for him, so the rapid advance that we saw in the first few laps has definitely stopped for Simon, and he's run into trouble with Konrad Stanchak, and he's now run into trouble with Fortunato Fiorentino. So I suppose that at this point his car has taken quite a lot of pain. In 15, Adam Shaw. That is no good news for the Game Racer FlatOut for the overall points. Just to give you an idea, Position 15 means Adam Shaw will bring home 12 points, whereas position 2 and 3 for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs at this point give them 29 and 26 points respectively. Then in 16, Tom Ilsbrooks. Bit of a quiet race at this point for him too. He's not really seriously going to put any trouble on his teammate Adam Shaw in the Game Racer FlatOut car in front, because the Game Racer FlatOut Club definitely are not going to hurt the base team who are here to defend the title. In 17, Ethan Bass for the Torrent Motorsports. Bit of a stuck in the back for him as well. In 18, Bruno Sousa Ferreira for the Waterblue Racing team. Oh, sorry, Team Waterblue Racing, I should say. And fancy that design. It's really very, very well done. Nice water effects on the back of the door in there. In 19, following actually Bruno Sousa Ferreira, it's Andy Roberts for Team Game Racer FlatOut Club. And in 20, right now being knocked off the track a little as he was being lapped, is Georgios Davakos. And he does have a very banged up front right, so he can hardly keep that Doran on the line. And in the back we see Degreef finally in the pits, while a Gubbklubben player, I think, is already doing his second pit stop. So both blue flaggers out, sad news for me and my team, but there you go. While we see Davakos struggling here with a mighty beat up car. Half time, and David, your impressions of the race so far here at Fundidora Park, second race of the STC season.
Well, I am enjoying the race a lot, like usual, because we are having fights all around the track, and I am quite impressed with the guys on one stopper, because I would say that all of them improved their starting position.
Yep, and they certainly caused a lot of trouble to the people on a two-stop strategy. So really getting past someone who is obviously slower than you, and but who's still definitely able to defend his position because he's on the same lap with you, but just on a different strategy, seems to be one of the problems developing here for the quick guys.
Yeah. By the way, we already have Daniel Beck at pit for his only stop, and also Gregory Degreef made his only pit stop. He pit out at position 11.
11. Well, he started in 13, so all that trouble gave him 2 positions. Not too bad. And let's not forget, if these other guys keep doing their second stop, he will definitely advance a lot.
Yes, but at the end of the race, he can find himself in the same problems he was.
Yep. We might see him losing 1 or 2 of those spots that he gained due to the very, very bad performance. And it looks at this point as if the 2 Roaring Pipes Maniacs can now, for the first time in the race, really open a gap to the Game Racer FlatOut Club player who is in position number 3, and that is Kevin Clark. And actually the Maniacs now approach Degreef, but this time they're a lap up, and so Gregory better make room for them pretty quickly. They're not going to be too happy to see his back again. So we've been scanning the grid again for the closest fights to keep you up with the latest action, to keep you on top of the latest action really. And there's a big one here. It's Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben against Fortunato Fiorentino for Team Course Online. And we've seen some very close action by these two in the last 1 or 2 laps. And it's the Gubbklubben guy, Daniel Beck, desperately trying to get past. He seems to be really faster at this point in the game, but well, as we've seen so often tonight, it's really difficult to find a way past somebody who knows what to do with the Doran, who knows where to put him, what to do on the apex, and how to speed out of the turns with maximum effect. Because really there's not much room to develop any slipstream on these straights. They're not so long. So the slipstream doesn't really come into account here very much indeed. It's rather that you have to fight for positions in the turns, and that makes it very difficult indeed, balancing the car and at the same time trying to attack. And so we see Fiorentino and both of them, Fiorentino and Beck, are followed by somebody either a lap down or a lap up. So they are not fighting for position, that Game Racer FlatOut Club there. And we can see Beck trying to make a move here. He's taking a very tight line on that last turn out onto the start and finish straight. And now they're powering out of that turn. And I think it's a 3rd position and 4th position who are coming up. So they are going to be lapping them. And that might be just the little bit that decides this fight for position here. Yes, it's position number 3 and 4 coming up. It's Jesper Taulborg in 4 and Kevin Clark in 3. And they have to let them pass one by one, bit by bit. And that, and now unfortunately a little touch there by Daniel Beck, but nothing he could do really because Kevin Clark got stuck a little there on the curbs. Taulborg squeezes past and Beck has to let him pass, and Fiorentino is not really giving that much room, but he's not under serious trouble by any of these guys, so he can stick to his position fair enough. And Daniel Beck definitely is not very happy about what's going on right here in front of his nose, and he is followed now by another player for the Game Racer FlatOut, but that should be Adam Shaw, who is another lap down, so he shouldn't be any danger. Fiorentino can pull away. That really makes me wonder a little. That might just be the intent, might just show the intensity of the fights there in the back, because what we see here is that Daniel Beck can keep the pace and to these other players around him. Yes, and it's Adam Shaw indeed. Adam Shaw is in the FlatOut car following this group. And then it should be Kevin Clark in the other FlatOut car. Yes, it is. It's Jesper Taulborg, Kevin Clark fighting for positions number 3 and 4. And they're fighting so intense that Daniel Beck, who is a lap down, can follow them, and that Adam Shaw, who is a further lap down, can also follow them. That just goes to show how difficult it is to fight and keep your pace at the same time. So basically we're having Daniel Beck now as our cameraman, really, because we see Taulborg and Kevin Clark really having a huge fight here, maybe a race-deciding fight. And now we see Fiorentino making way. He's probably got blue flags all along, and at the same time trying to keep back behind, and he manages to just pull it off. That was really close there. Well done by Fiorentino. And he manages to stay just in front of Daniel Beck, but now he's got Daniel Beck all over him. And Beck at the same time is under pressure from Adam Shaw, even though that guy is let down, and he can follow the pace so easily. So I think, much as we love Course Online and Gubbklubben, and now they're running up to the other two, and what do they do there? There was a contact, there was a little touch between Taulborg and Kevin Clark that made them slow down. So Fiorito and Beck caught up to them and nearly ran into them, and they couldn't go anywhere without overtaking them. It was a really difficult situation. So,
and there goes Taulborg move. Taulborg overtook Kevin Clark.
Kevin Clark is into the pits.
Yeah.
Kevin Clark is into the pits. And so he knew he was going to pit. He knew he was giving his last there, giving his best just before he pitted. And that puts Beck in front of Taulborg, which obviously is he is a lap down, so he should concede that position in a moment or two. And that really makes for very interesting racing here.
Eckhart, should we consider that all the guys on a two-stopper strategy will start stopping?
I think that Kevin Clark showed us that it's about time now, because especially if you're involved in the fights, tires tend to go very quickly, don't they?
Yeah. We have Andy Roberts at pit right now.
And Taulborg really got stuck in that traffic there, but also fighting for position at the same time, so a very, very difficult situation for all the players involved. And that gave Skrzypczak and Kaukola a lot of advantage, taking away a lot of seconds from Taulborg. And Taulborg now is actually under attack from Adam Shaw, who is a lap down. Let's not forget, this is a team event, so if Shaw can keep Taulborg occupied, fair enough. He shouldn't really put any pressure on him, he shouldn't really touch him at all, shouldn't really make any moves on him, but well, just keep him occupied, just make sure that he's not able to put in the best possible performance. That will definitely help his teammate further down the field. Well, it's going to be really interesting with the two stoppers now about to make their pits. We've seen Kevin Clark going into the pits. And to see what happens to Gregory Degreef and Robin Johansson, who were the two guys who stayed out very, very long indeed on a one-stop strategy. And it's really time for them to cash in the next couple of laps as we see the others go into the pits. And we see Simon Malouche leaving the game, so his ride took quite a beating in the many fights he had, try-downs from position number 21, and so one of the Torrent Motorsports out of the game. That means we're down to 19 at this point. Yeah, just as I saw them going under that bridge, reminds me, I haven't mentioned our sponsors at all. Let's not forget, this whole thing here is made possible by the GameHosters.net, providing us with servers who last season were really up to scratch. We really didn't have any server problems at all, if I remember correctly. And so far this season, they've done their job perfectly as well. So thank you, the GameHosters.net, for providing this. And also, if I remember correctly, the team that won last season, the Game Racer FlatOut, they enjoy half a year of free server capacity on GameHosters.net, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's our main prize for the winner.
Grand big prize, yep.
Yeah, it's difficult to to have a prize for a team, you know. So I think a server is a good idea.
And we see Taulborg into the pits now. Very nearly crashing into me, sitting in the old Corvette. And we also see Skrzypczak and Kaukola in the pits. If I'm not mistaken, if I don't get the colors wrong. So both of the RPMs are pitting, but already one of them is pitting out.
We have Rami stopped, Jesper Taulborg pitting in, and Marcin looks like he's pitting out already.
Yep, Skrzypczak pitting out, and I was mistaking a Flying Dutchman car for one of the RPMs there. Roaring Pipes Maniacs guy, both going out, with Skrzypczak still in front, Kaukola still in second, so they definitely stick to their 1-2 that they started the game
guys,
with.
Let me tell you something. Kevin Clark is in front of Marcin and Rami.
Yep. And Robin Johansson, let me tell you another thing, is even in front of those two, while Dariusz Swiderski has just run into trouble with one of the Course Online players. But that means that Johansson, who is on a one-stopper, is now cashing in on all the trouble he's had keeping his Gubbklubben Doran on the track. And he should have quite a lot of space between him and the second position Skrzypczak, the third position Skrzypczak. No, not so much, it's only 6 seconds. 6 seconds between Johansson and Skrzypczak, and 5 seconds between Johansson and Clark. But Clark definitely managed to overtake the two Roaring Pipes Maniacs in the pit. That is surprising.
Yeah, possibly he went out of traffic, and maybe that was the main reason to make an early pit stop.
Yep. Taking advantage of the overall situation of the game, and then having someone on race control tell him, quick, get in. No, sorry, not on race control, but on the team radio, telling him to get in quickly, and then taking advantage of that. Well, and let's have a look at where we find Gregory Degreef, who also was liable to take advantage of the pit strategy. And we see him, Jose, if you could go there, in position number 7, doing what he has done the whole race. Gregory, he must have blisters on his hand at the end of this race, because he is defending like mad against Martijn van Bommel of the Flying Dutchman Racing. I think he's the guy we saw getting out of the pits right now, who I mistook for one of the Roaring Pipes Maniacs. So, and Degreef getting touched there a little by Van Bommel, but I think he's on the inside now again, so he can take advantage of that. And but Van Bommel clearly is faster. He is now powering out of that turn, getting his car into a very favorable position, and he is slipping past indeed. So I think that shows us what all the one-stoppers are up against now. Difficulty just basically controlling the Doran with those worn tires, with the hard tires, while the other ones now have really, really fresh, soft, nice, clean tires to go on.
Yeah, I think the modifications Neil did to the tires really improved the tire model.
Yeah.
Yep, big thanks to Neil who did that for us. And I suppose this brings us back to the front of the grid, because we see Robin Johansson, who should start to feel the tires wearing off by now, with about 20 minutes to go, and my prediction is he will not be able to hold that position if I look at the kind of player he's up against. Even though, let's not get this wrong here, Robin Johansson, another great sim racer. But Kevin Clark is following him for the defending champions, game racer FlatOut, and Marcin Skrzypczak of Poland for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs is in turn following Clark. So these three are actually fighting for position number 1, and it's going to be a really, really close battle. And, well, as if they had spoken to us. And right now, little mistake there by Clark. He had to stop for Johansson to recover. I mean, Johansson had a bit of a problem. Clark took a bit of a safe line there, and Skrzypczak used that to slip past. And as Skrzypczak tries to make a move on Johansson, Skrzypczak tries to get it over and done with very quickly indeed, while the tires are still fresh, while he still has the overall advantage, and he makes the move stick. He's round, he's past. And now Clark has to follow quickly, or else Skrzypczak will be gone for good. He knows that, but Johansson knows that too. If he can't hold on now to position number 2, he will be caught by Kaukola, who we can see in the background there in 4. So he is defending with everything that he has got. And we see Skrzypczak moving away, and Clark won't be too happy about that. He was all slotted in for winning this race just by overtaking Johansson, and then in a split second it's all gone. Superb reaction there by Skrzypczak, who saw what was going on and who used the overlap, the speed that he had still in excess, and then simply just powered past. And there was absolutely nothing either Johansson or Clark could do. It was a bit of paint swap there, but at least from my position it was damn fair indeed. And now we see another fair move. Oh no, that was just as I was saying that FlatOut junior car, that FlatOut club car was getting out of the way nicely. We see that I in fact totally misjudged that maneuver, and in fact he closed the door on Skrzypczak, possibly not considering what was going on there, possibly just a mistake, but that has cost Skrzypczak dearly. Look at the front of his car, it's all banged up there, and that will lead to Johansson having a much better chance now of trying to catch up to Marcin again. We know that Skrzypczak can handle virtually any situation, but that looks like a serious threat to his chance of winning here. How did you see that move, David? Could you follow it? I was quite surprised by it.
Well, I was looking at a cam very close to Marcin's car, so I had not a good vision of the incident.
Okay, yep, fair enough. And do we see Kevin Clark pitting in the background? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And David, could you please check if it's a drive-through or whether he's actually on a 3-stopper?
Well, after Marcin's incident, I have seen Kevin on the grass for a moment, so maybe he's having problems with his tires, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe he chose the super soft compound for the last.
He shouldn't do that. Yeah, but that would have been a bit too long, wouldn't it? The super soft, I think they're good for about 8 minutes, and then they're dead gone.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
But maybe it's just stop and go. Maybe he did just one little cut too many somewhere accidentally, just getting off a little bit. But I'm happy to say, really, I mean, this is nothing against Gubbklubben, but I'm happy to say that Skrzypczak obviously has his Doran still very much under control, even though that was quite a serious hit that was inflicted on him there by that FlatOut club car further down the line, and he can pull away from Johansson. Sorry guys, just taking care of the big sneeze there and a bit of a cold I have here. And just as we see Skrzypczak moving away from Johansson, we see Kaukola moving up to Johansson. And so this is going to be, I think, the big fight in the last few laps. And David, any idea where Kevin Clark rejoined the race?
Yes, of course, I will tell you. He is position 9, Eckhart.
That is very disappointing indeed for the game racer FlatOut, because that means that they have one player in 9 and I think the other one in 16 or 17. That's not going to be quite the result that they were hoping for.
Yeah, not the best result for them. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that he will recover some positions because he will be the fastest car on the last stint because he's on really fresh tires right now.
Yep. And right as you're talking, we see maybe the decisive mistake by Johansson because he went on the grass. Kaukola now on the inside. Can he make it stick? We know that Kaukola is a wizard on the brake, and yes, he does indeed make it stick. That was perfect. Absolutely textbook maneuver here by Rami Kaukola, overtaking Robin Johansson. So we now have the Roaring Pipes Maniacs back where they belong, basically, on this track, obviously. Back in 1 and 2, and it seems as if indeed the Orange Empire is all set to strike back here in the second round of the STC, the Sim Racing Team Challenge. Brought to you by none other than GameHoster.net. Yes, David.
We have worse news for FlatOut Racing because our show is at pit as well again.
Well, either they're picking up stop and goes like there's no tomorrow, or they have seriously miscalculated their tire strategy. I hope that some posts on the forum later on will make us, will give us all the insight needed now, because obviously we don't really want to have interviews with the players while they're playing. That would be disastrous. And so we're left out in the cold really as commentators here, just guesswork. But it looks to me as if does he do a tire change? Does he change his tires, or is it a stop and go? Can you see that?
I think it was a complete work, Eckart.
Oh no. Yeah, maybe from the start they were on a 3-stopper, but that would be kind of strange, wouldn't it?
Okay. Even worse news for them, Eckart. Because
what is it now?
It is Kevin Clark, and I think this time it was a stop and go penalty. I am pretty sure.
Yeah, probably pushing too hard as he tried to recover the positions he's lost. And we can see him getting out of the pit lane now in the background. We should be able. And yes, there he is. And he's now a lap down. What a disaster. Oh dear, I'm very sorry for Game Racer FlatOut Club. That certainly didn't pan out the way they planned it. Right, with the race nearly finished, Jose, how about another of the rundowns?
Sure, Eckart. I was actually doing it. I'm in P5 now.
Thank you very much indeed. So that means I have to find out 1 Skrzypczak, 2 Kaukola within striking distance, 3 Johansson slipping slowly down, Taulborg in 4, pretty much on his own there. Alexander Lauritsen, second of the Flying Canadians. Sorry, Alexander, we didn't show you much. That was might have been an eventful race, but we didn't really show it. And he is in 5. That's a brilliant result, overall result for Flying Canadian Racing. They might do a big jump in the points table. So position number 6, they're basically their teammates from Flying Dutchman Racing. Marcin van Bommel. He started the race in 9, so he's up 3 positions. Should be happy with that. Great race by him. And look at his right, look at his Dorin. It's well-nigh perfect. Then in 7, the man who gave us some fierce battles along the line, Gregory Degreef, for the Black Rebels. And Jose and David, you should be pleased to have a much better result than last time, shouldn't you?
Sorry, Eckart.
Oh well, you should be pleased with the result, I was just saying, because much better than last time. Gregory in 7 and Darius still in contention?
Of course, looking we are there. They are looking a very, very good race. Gregory and Darius are quite fast and quite consistent as well.
And now we see the Degreef pitting in, so maybe he miscalculated the fuel. That might be a reason. Or he is in for picking up super softs for the last few laps. We'll see.
Maybe.
And now, it was very short, wasn't it? And Daniel Beck slipped by. He is in 7 now. Degreef down in 8 and Martin Kraaijenbrink in 9. And let's see if he can actually overtake Degreef while Degreef is making his way to the exit.
I don't
It's going
think
to
so.
be really close. It's going to be really, really, really close.
Oh,
There they are, there they are. Ooh, that was indeed close. Kraaijenbrink obviously knew what was going on, and he was really choosing the last possible breakpoint for that turn, and lucky chap that he just missed Degreef there by an inch. And so if Degreef is actually on super soft, it should be easy for him to get away now. And then in 10 we have Kevin Clark, and still hassling the Gubbklubben there. In 11, Fortunato Fiorentino, another not so good result for the course online. They seem to be stalled a little in their pursuit of a race victory. Then in 12, oh, that's a battle there. 11 and 12, Dariusz Swiderski, second of the Black Rebels in the black car. In 13, second of the course online players, Luca da Fara. I keep on putting an R in that name, da Fara, sorry. In 14, Tom Ilsbrooks, who had a great race, really, up from 20, 6 positions for Tom. Well done, mate. Then in 15, we didn't show much of you guys, sorry. Ethan Bass for the Torrent Motorsports. 16, Adam Shaw for Game Racer FlatOut. 17, Bruno Sousa Ferreira for the Waterblue Racing Team. In 18, second of the FlatOut Club car, so they will get some points after a disappointing 0 from the first race. And then in 19, last man standing, Georgios Davakos, and he hasn't been to the pits to repair that front, and look at him. He is having serious troubles just getting the door and around the track, but he sticks with it and he makes it stick. And off on the grass now, a little bit, just as we see race leader Skrzypczak lapping him for, I think, the 4th time. And but Davakos is still with us, other than the 2 blue flaggers who are both out, and so Waterblue are going to collect some more points in this race. They're in 18 and 19. Well, how much time do we have left, David, for this race?
I will tell you, Eckhart. It's 13 minutes.
"30 minutes to go, and it looks as if we're all set. It looks as if Skrzypczak is fully in control, even though his car must be quite damaged. Front left, look at that dent. Same dent, incidentally, in Rami Kaukola's car, as we see him in the back, cutting a bit now. That might have cost him a warning by the marshals. And then a huge gap to Robin Johansson in 3, who should be seriously fighting with his tires. So I suppose we should stay with Johansson and see if anyone can overtake him. Taulborg shouldn't be too far away. So I'm just visiting the timing channel here to give you an update on the differences between the players, and so that you can prepare for the final 10 minutes. So with about 12 minutes to go, a dozen minutes, it's Skrzypczak in 1, Kaukola 3 seconds down, Johansson 10 seconds down, Taulborg 15 seconds down. So that is all with respect to the race leader. And right now Skrzypczak seems to have had some trouble because everybody advanced by 2 seconds. Then Lauritsen, a huge gap, 36 seconds down. Marcin van Bommel, 45 seconds down. And then Daniel Beck rounding up the last of those who are not lapped yet or have not yet been lapped. 1 minute and 14 down. Everybody else, so that means starting from position number 8, is either a lap, 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps, or up to 5 laps down. So, it looks as if the big thing to watch here in the last laps is whether Taulborg can actually reverse his fortunes from last race, where we had to hand over position number 1 in the finishing laps, finishing stages of the race to Mikko Korkiakowski of the Game Racer FlatOut, whether he can actually reverse that and this time round be the guy to take over a position with just a few laps to go, because he's only 3 seconds away from Robin Johansson at this point. And the two Roaring Pipes Maniacs at the top are very close to each other. Following Taulborg here as he's advancing on Johansson, they still have another player between them who is a lap down. Let me quickly give you an update on who is that. It's Martin Kraaijenbrink of the Flying Dutchman Racing, and he is about to unlap himself, I suppose, because he's way faster than Robin Johansson, and he's not making things easy for Johansson indeed, because he's feeling, of course, Kraaijenbrink's pressure there, and he knows that sooner or later Taulborg will be in Kraaijenbrink's slipstream. That will give him a little bit of an advantage, maybe 0.3, 0.4 seconds in that lap. And it's clear that Johansson is blocking all of these people here. They could all be faster. And behind Taulborg, even though he's taking defensive lines now, that player for Game Racer FlatOut is Kevin Clark in position number 8, but he is, of course, a lap down after the problems he encountered earlier. But this is a really difficult situation for all of them. We know that Taulborg really is a very, very level-headed guy, so he knows how to deal with that situation. And the same definitely applies to the other two players around him, to Kevin Clark and to Robin Johansson. We've seen them a lot on the track here in the STC, and they're all level-headed guys, but it's only 8 minutes to go in this game, only 8 minutes to go in this race, and Taulborg is now well within striking distance, and I don't think you really have to be much of a prophet to say he's going to make it. He's going to get past. Look at that, he's already up to within a car's length. And I would say another 2 laps and Jesper is passed. And Clark, of course, has the speed to follow them two here, and but he's wisely taking the role of the spectator here, because he might profit if these two run into any trouble there. He might still profit from that. And now here's the attack by Taulborg. He is approaching on the inside. He's on the brake. Johansson defending with all that's worth, trying to squeeze back past, but Taulborg, I think, can make it stick in this Scandinavian duel here. Taulborg now in front on that turn, it's a right-hander, and Clark following them very closely indeed. And now Taulborg on a clearly defensive line. He's not going to be too happy with the way Johansson defended there. That was a very tough maneuver. I'd say within bounds, but just so. But it's racing. And Johansson now trying to do whatever he can to follow Taulborg in these last laps. He's not going to give up. He is a Gubbklubben racer and they don't give up easily, let me tell you that. But I wonder whether he has any arrows left to fire at Jesper. And in the back we see Kevin Clark having a huge slide there as they get onto the start and finish straight for another time. And time's desperately running out for Robin Johansson. He's sliding, he has his Doran all over the place, just trying to stay in contact with Taulborg to maybe make a move in either this lap or the next lap, because after that Taulborg will be gone for good. And already now, look at that distance, it's only a lap. And it looks as if that's something like 2 or 3 cars worth between them. And I don't think with the tires shot that Johansson has a serious chance at making another move on Taulborg. It was a very close maneuver there. He tried what he could, and but Taulborg managed to make it stick, really defending his line then again. And in the back we see Clark going off. I don't know if that's actually a fight for a position with the Flying Dutchman player there. But he went off there, obviously miscalculating his speed. While we see Johansson doing whatever he can to follow Taulborg, but look at the gap. It's already like 6 or 7 or 8 dollars
Guys.
worth. Yes, David.
Alexander Lauritsen blew his engine.
Oh no! I saw him on the track going very slow indeed, and that I think we have also changed a little in the mod, haven't we? The players seriously have to consider what they do to the engine.
Yeah, it's important to take care of it.
Oh, that's very bad news indeed for Flying Canadian Racing. They were all set for a 3 and 5, which would have given them a huge number of points. I mean, losing 0.5 loses you 22 points, and the Lauritsen, disgusted of course with what happened, leaves the server at once. While we see Taulborg heading for a podium finish. First one for, second one for Flying Canadian Racing in a row. He was second last time. He's going to be third this time, unless the Roaring Pipes Maniacs mess up their 1-2. 3 minutes to go. So race control tells me position 13 is the place to go. And if I know Chaussee, he will be there faster than I can say hello and goodbye. And that is indeed, as David told me, a cool fight. Ethan Bass of the Torrent Motorsports defending his position against Adam Shaw. And Adam Shaw knows that every single point is needed in order to defend the title. And he is desperately trying to fight his way past Ethan Shaw. Sorry, against Ethan Bass, mixing up the two names there. And let's just have a look at the points they're fighting for. Position 13, that's 14 points, and position 14, that's 13 points. So that's a huge number there, and let's hope that this fight doesn't mean that one of them has to leave the track. And with only about 2 laps to go, let's look at the lines. Ethan Bass already taking what I consider a slightly defensive line, but not much so. And a very steady line around the turns, so his Doran should be still in good shape. Where else? Adam Shaw is taking slightly more, tough lines, I would call them. Very late on the brake from time to time. And in the back we see brave Georgios Davakos carrying his Doran through the turns here, getting out of the way whenever and wherever possible. And Shaw now, can he get alongside? No, he can't. He can't. Bass is on the inside there. Touch, touch, touch again for the 3rd time. And now Clark is on the inside. That was great indeed. Sorry, not Clark, but mixed up the two FlatOut players here. Adam Shaw Great move indeed, but Bass is fighting back. He's very late on the brake. They touch. Oh, that was not the best of moves there by Ethan Bass as he defends his position against Adam Shaw. Shaw's not going to be too happy about that, and Tom Isbrooks might actually profit from that. He's coming up, and he is now right behind Adam Shaw, but he's not going to take the position away for sure. But Ethan Bass stays in 13 after that move, whereas Adam Shaw is down to 14 with, I think, only a minute or so to go.
Okay.
Well, 56 seconds is what it tells me here in the game, is what we have to cover before the race is over. Yes, David?
Looks like Rami had a problem.
Yep, he's very, very slow indeed, and Taulborg is on his back. Taulborg is definitely on his back now, and Rami seems to have run into serious problems. He has a whole train of cars behind him, and Taulborg at the same time is under pressure from Johansson, who has managed to catch him again.
This is, guys, this is the last lap.
The last lap. Oh my goodness, we're going to see a huge fight here between Kaukola in 2, between Taulborg in 3, and between Johansson in 4. That's the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, Flying Canadian Racing, and Gubbklubben. Here's the first attack by Gubbklubben. Johansson against Taulborg. We've seen them touch before, and Taulborg goes off. Pushed off there by Johansson. That leaves only 2 in contention. That leaves only Kaukola and Johansson. That was good news for Rami indeed.
I wonder what happened to Rami, because when I saw him, he was already in the opposite way. He already made a spin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't think it was an attack because they are teammates. So maybe he made a
braking
mistake.
problem, but I think he can hold on to 2. I think he can hold on to that 1-2 for
Marcin is crossing the start-finish
Roaring
line
Pipes
right now.
Maniacs, and Skrzypczak takes the win, obviously. And Kaukola stays in second.
Followed by Robin Johansson, Jesper Taulborg.
Yep, it's Marcin van Bommel in 5 for the Flying Dutchman Racing. He's on his way to the start and finish now. That was a very, very close finish indeed there for the Gubbklubben player Robin Johansson and for Jesper Taulborg, who got pushed off the track in that maneuver. And I'm pretty certain there's a race incident coming our way, but let's see what happens. In 6, it's Daniel Beck for Gubbklubben, still in the race. That would be a perfect team result, 3 and 6. And Daniel Beck obviously also having problems keeping that Doran on the track here. They must be really very, very difficult indeed to play under these conditions with the tires completely gone. And Brave Davakos is across the line there. Brought his Doran home. Well done, Georgios. And Kevin Clark is off the track in the very last lap. And or maybe he was already passed. He was already passed. That was just the AI playing its tricks there. So, race is finished. That was the second installment of the STC this year, and we'll have the interviews with the top 3 in just half a second, and we'll be back with you after the anthem. So, there we are back again then, after the, I suppose, the Dutch national anthem for the team, not for the player, as usual. The player to win the race was Marcin Skrzypczak, and he is with me now for the top 3 interview. Marcin, congratulations, that looked like a perfect race for you.
Thank you. Yes, it was a good race, but not perfect. Made few small mistakes. Almost killed the engine, but anyway, it was...
Oh dear.
Yeah, anyway, I was pushing hard the whole race and got the good finish.
Was there any strategy between Rami and you? We had the impression that Rami was supposed to be the guy taking all the hits coming from behind, whereas you were supposed to be the guy having a clean run.
No, we haven't strategy. Just it depends of our. Just depends on our speed. If I'm faster, I'm in front. If Rami is faster, Rami is in front, and I'm getting hits.
Okay, well that brings us to second position, Rami Kaukola. Great race by you again. Didn't you win Fundidora last time round?
Thank you. Yes, I did, and that race was a lot easier than this year.
Why?
I don't know. Others were so much faster than last year, or I'm slower.
I don't think you can ever be slower. What happened to you in the last or the second to last lap? Did you have a spin?
Yes, my game went to the desktop, so I have to fire it again, and then I stole my engine and got the car going again. So I think Jesper hit me. So I don't know who's to blame, but I was still second place, just.
Yeah, I suppose it was more the fight behind you between Robin and Jesper that was causing the trouble for one of them, namely Jesper Taulborg, who won't be too happy with what happened there. So you didn't see anything or didn't notice anything in your rear view mirror about that situation. They were very close to you, weren't they, both of them? And then all of a sudden it was only Robin Johansson.
Yes, I think Jesper lost the third place when he hit me. So he lost a lot of time there. So too bad for Jesper. So I'm sorry, but what can I do? Because my game crashed to the desktop.
Yep. Nothing really you can do there. Oh dear. Well. And David, it seems as if we have neither Robin Johansson in third nor Jesper Taulborg in fourth. That may even be better because they might still be feeling hard feelings about that last maneuver, these last 1 or 2 maneuvers there. What do you say about this race, David, from your position as race control?
Well, I have a message from Hugo Heckenberg from the Flying Men. He's telling me Jesper is a little bit shy.
Not one to step into the limelight, no matter as a mate. But he was a roaring pipe maniac. Now he's a flying Canadian. He's Danish all the way through. So, okay, Jesper, if you're listening to us later on the replay, maybe one of these days you'll come into the broadcast room and give us a very small interview. Okay. Well, that winds up the broadcast for me then. Thanks very much, Marcin Skrzypczak and Rami Kaukola, for being here in the interview, and a great result for you. You scored 32 and 29 points, so an overall of 61 points should put you in the top position, shouldn't it?
Hope so. I hope so.
Yes, hope so. Mana.
Yes, that's of course the mana, the eternal sign of the Roaring Pipes Maniacs. So give my regards to all the team. Great show here by the Roaring Pipes Maniacs. Great show also by Jose. Thank you for some excellent camera work there, mate.
Thanks to you for the comment, and thanks to David for all the comments and all the technical stuff.
All right, it's goodbye for me then. See you again next Thursday at Daytona, where my precious self is supposed to be playing on the grid, so you might see me sliding around a bit in the Doran if I can make it on time. See you till then. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye, Eckhart.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. The whole racing. See you next time. Bye bye.
Oh, Marcin, let's go Arca Sim